Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Before we start, we have a disclosure. Please be aware of risk in the future trading. All our videos for educational purpose only. You're very welcome to follow any of our automated signal as long as you are on SIM. This is an educational video, it's not a trading room. To start with, you should not be to the ones who are outsider. Our members know what they are doing, but for the ones who are non-members, you have to keep thinking short. And I'll tell you why you have to keep going short. You have a re-entry point on the Nasdaq at 1443, which is a pullback re-entry. The market hit the target, and we did finish the trade. The previous trade, and we hit the target and we were done with it. The market pulled back to the re-entry point at 1442, and the market now is sinking again. The same story on the ES. The pullback is 30.39, and now the market is sinking, and probably most likely is going to hit the support area if you are trading the ES at 30.3175. With the YM, it is as we speak right now. You can pull back to the 25.602, re-entry short, and then you have a support area at 25.57 here, and you gotta watch out for the support area. So now the ES, as we speak, is going down, and most likely is gonna stop at 30.31. For the ones that just join us or they are new, you can follow the market or you can follow the signals. We had a sell on the signal on the ES at 30.3750. The target is 30.2775, which there is a little problem with the ES. There is a lot of support area before you hit the target. And now as we see, the ES is going down, trying to hit the target and trying to break the support area, is struggling with the support area 1 and support area 2 before it hits the target. On the Nasdaq, all the ones in the market analyzer are based on 1 minute and one contract. Based on one contract, 9,368.75 on the Nasdaq entry with the automated trade, and the target is 94.51. And then as you see, it is 214 ticks into the market, into that trade. It's not the whole day, it's the last entry signal. On the YM, we had a sell at 25.627, target 25.530, and it is 78 ticks into the profit. And then we have the scalper on the right upper corner, and then we will be also on the scalper. We use the white chart, and we just about to finish with the trade on the gold. And as you see, this is coming from the scalper. If we look at the right upper corner, we have a sell on the gold, and it is 1739, and we got that entry from the auto trade. And as you see right now, we are about to hit the target. And what I like about it on that auto trade is you can use a fully automated trade or an ATM strategy, or you can. I prefer to use an ATM. The reason is on cases like this, I can secure some of the profit, and I can overwrite if I want to the auto trade, and or if I want to, I can secure the trade. And then what we are going to do, we are going to also share is the same template we've been using on the Nasdaq ES. And now we have, this is a different type of an auto trade. It's the TI7, the latest version we have, and it is an amazing, very stable auto trade. And as we see right now, I started those auto trade at 9:30, and this is actually the first trade on that one. As you see here on the scalper, that's why I protected some of the profit and called it off. So this is where And then what we have done a lot. If you see a lot of trailing stops, because the reason is we made something for the advanced traders. The ones, if they want to interfere with the auto trade, they can use the buttons on the top to close positions if they want, or direct the auto trade. As now the situation in the market, it is short only, and you can direct your ES Nasdaq Dow Jones as a short only or a long only, or you can leave it alone and will take short and long. At the same time, what we have done, it is based on the different entries. You can go from scalping to swing trading or to normal automated trade. You can do. We provide templates with it, and then what we do, we stay limited on. You can use a ranker bar. You can use a range if you want to. You can use whatever you want, but we show only the minute. Because if your auto trade is can be traded on a minute, that means it's a stable, consistent. I don't know if it's tomorrow gonna make 1,000, 2,000, or it's not gonna make anything. I have no idea. But when you are using a minute, it is consistent, and there is really consistency in your trade. And then when you are back testing and you are using 1 minute, you get the exact numbers, not like line break. Ranker bars, all those misleading to the trading. This is a really wrong numbers. But here, when we are using a minute, you can use 1 or 2 minutes for an aggressive, 3, 4 mid side, and then you can use the 5 minutes for conservative. And the things is, you can use 4 contracts if you want to use a micro account, or if you want to use a normal account, you can do that. We started this auto trades at 9:30, exactly at 9:30 today. We were busy a little bit earlier, and immediately after we started, you can see on the Nasdaq, the 5 minutes took the first trade, and it was locked down with a profit 1,285, and it is based on 2 contracts, and immediately locked down 1285. In those cases, when you have an auto trade, immediately lock your profit. Then what you can do, you can right click, reload, and now what we are doing, we are back on the trading again, and now we have rearm as you see on the minutes, it is exactly what has happened before, and the bars did not move like what they do with the ranker bars, and now we are rearmed it again. And now we are ready to trade again on this one here. So it's too early, and already hit a $1,200 target. So why not let it run one more time? It's still a lot. So as you see here, the auto trade close position on the CL. So we will be covering those auto trades as well. And in your package, there is a reversal automated trade, there is an institutional automated trade, there is all kind of automated trade, but we cannot cover everything in here. So we are constantly using just a couple auto trades. That's all what we can handle on one screen for such a short period of time when we are live on the YouTube. The most important things is to learn the market, how the market is behaving, and it is more important than an auto trade, and then the auto trades comes after, and then it makes a lot of difference in your performance when you are comprehend what's going on in the market. As you see on the Nasdaq, we have the target at 94.51, which the market, if we look back, the market already hit the target and closed position. Okay, then what happened on the Nasdaq did come back to the support area, and got projected right now from 9446. So this is a really a problem right now for the Nasdaq trader, And as you see, whether you are auto trading or a manual trading, if we look at the Nasdaq, what happened today, the earlier today the Nasdaq was trending, and it hit the target as expected, and it was a lot of ticks, but then the market come back to the 9408, and then trying to go back above the target again, and it fell. So right now the Nasdaq got stuck between the 9408.75 and then the 9443.75 as a resistance, and 9407 as a support area. So for the Nasdaq trader, guys, you are in trouble if you are trading at the moment. The Nasdaq, in that area, you cannot trade anymore. We have to wait until this Nasdaq. If you are insistent on taking a trade, you gotta wait till it gets out of that channel, whether it's breaking on the upper side or breaking the downside. So you cannot do anything on the Nasdaq at the moment. So you gotta really be careful how you are gonna be trading the Nasdaq at the moment. And this is where the most important is the secret in the trading. It's not your auto trade and not your type of a trading. It is when to trade that instruments and when to avoid taking a trades with that instrument. So this is a really important. Sometimes in some areas that you cannot trade that market. Let me give you an example. If we look at the YM right now, at the moment the YM, it is really this area here you should not be trading at all. If you want to trade the YM, the only time you are able to take a trade on the YM as a limited order, buy limited order at 25,637. This is the only time you can take a trade on the YM. And why? Because if we look at the YM right now direction, there is a three resistant area here, and I don't know if this YM gonna able to break all those three, because also the ES has to break the final point is 3046.25 before we start thinking about long. As long as this market is below the 3046.25 on the ES, that means there is no long trade. And this right now in this area here, there is a chances 50-50 this market is gonna go back. And this is where if we analyze what's going on the ES, it's gonna have an impact on the Nasdaq and Dow Jones. It is the oxygen for Nasdaq and Dow Jones. So if we look the market, guys, it is the most important how to look at the market. It's not how you auto trade. Once you understand the market, auto trade is just flip the auto trade, turn on the auto trade, and then it trades automatically. It takes milliseconds to turn on an auto trade. If we look at the ES, because the ES is gonna give us a very good signal for the whole market, because it's presenting the 500 company. And no, we cannot avoid it, whether we are an ES trader or not. We cannot avoid that. So on the way up, as we see here, the ES is struggling on the resistance line and the projection, and it could go either direction. And as you see here, the ES, that's why we go live. We don't come out at night after the fact, because we need to understand how to analyze the market and the live market. What happened in the past, coming out at night in the evening and say, well, here, that's very, anyone can see that. How to look and predict what's going on in the market is not what has happened before. After the fact is irrelevant, and you're not going to see it anymore. So, auto replay data, the challenge is not there. The challenge is to sit down here out in the public and try to be accurate for what is going to happen in the market. That is show power. That show trading. That show how people should look at the market before they start thinking changing career. As we see here on the ES, it came into this projection and it fell. Because it fell, that's why we said on the YM, you should not be trading in those critical area. Neither the ES, you cannot trade on those critical area. We need to confirm and break all those walls before we can start saying, okay, now we have a confirmation on a long trade. At the moment, the system is going to activate a long trade very soon, within a seconds, on the ES long. And there we go. We did. Okay? And look at this. Is already, this ES is in trouble. Why? Because we still have one more bumper on the, there is a resistance at 30, 45, 50, and that it is critical here. So if I'm sitting by myself, I don't have anyone on my head, I will not take that trade where it's at the moment, because the situation here is different. The signal here is an entry at 30, 44, 75. That's very fine. And it probably is good. But there is, if we look, if we can try to just a little bit magnify what's going on, we have a resistance at 30, 45, 50, which I'm almost sure is going to break it. But for me, if I'm taking a manual trade, I'm not using an auto trade, I will take it above that line, and I will not let the signal or the auto trade take in that trade. Also, one of the things you can do when you are trading, as we see here, if we take the scalper on the ES, if the market gets stuck, or the market is moving slow, or the market is not going anywhere, you can always get away with it by using the scalper from the right upper corner, and at least in no time you can, it is a very simple chart, and then you can see where is the border on the ES. It is a struggling, the ES is the same story as the 1 minute at 30, 45, 50, and then look at this, it's very accurate. Is getting a problem at 256.33. This is a scalping, and then what you can do, you can break even or get some of the ticks out on a very bad day. So what I'm saying is, if it is the market is slow, does not mean you're gonna stay out of business. No, but then instead using the signal, you can use the scalper and get your ticks. A little bit here, a little bit there, and then you can survive the rest of the day without going to the red. So it is very important to watch the scalper and the swing trading, and then you say, okay, now this market is struggling in those areas. I will be activating the scalper, or I will direct myself to the scalper and take the scalper as a stand, a swing trading, and that it is. It's going to make a lot of difference in your trade. So right now what we are waiting is on the ES. As you see, the ES came in exactly to what we were scared of, the 30, 45, 50, and now the market, it is rejected that number, and now the ES got stuck between a support area here and a resistance, and God knows where it's going. So you can see how important those areas are, and this is how important that if you want to take your ticks out and cash in when the market is struggling, as we see right now. So this is a really, really important to try to survive during the day when the market is struggling, or the most of the time traders lose money when the market is not trending, and they're trying to catch a trend, and when there is no trend, and they try to take a trade, and then the minute they take the trade, the market turn around the other direction. Then they go short, and the market goes the other direction, and then they start getting lost. And even if you are auto trading, and the auto trade needs a few bars to confirm, he get in the trade, and then the market going in the opposite direction. So this is a very, very um, important to analyze what's going on in the market and try to understand what is the danger in the market. As we have said, this is gonna the auto trade is gonna take a trade here, but there is a resistance here, and it's gonna have a problem, and it did have a problem. So those you cannot those the difference between you make money or you lose money. So at the moment, guys, there is not much to do. If we wanted to take a trade long on the ES and you are insistent on taking a trade on the ES, you gotta put it right above the high of the bar, and you can put it at 30, 45.50, or you can put it at 30, 46.25. On the Nasdaq, there is no more trade. I'm sorry. On the Nasdaq, as we see, the Nasdaq went up earlier today, made 300-400 takes, and we exited on the Nasdaq, and there is not much to do. If you want to really insist on taking a Nasdaq trade, you have two options. The market, if on the pullback, probably it will be the re-entry point at 94.43.75 re-entry long, and most likely once the Nasdaq hit the 95.10.75, it's going to be over for today. So this is the main target, 95.0950. That is the end of the line for Nasdaq, and on the pullback re-entry, it is at 94.43.50. So we try to give you a picture of the market 5-10 minutes ahead of time, which it is very hard when you are trading the future, trying to picture the future market ahead of time to help the traders, not after the fact. So we will see what will happen on that, and as we see the market analyzer on both of sides, on the left and the right, the market analyzer, as you see right now, we start getting a new signal sell position on the scalper. This is a really, as you see here, we got a sell position immediately, 300, and this is the moment you are waiting on, when the market is struggling. Immediately on the scalping, you get your bread and get out. And now if we look at the YM, this is the YM entry, 350 on the YM, 400 on the Russell ES, 275. You're done for today. You lock in, you cash in, and then you are done for today. CL, $90, and this is it, guys. And there is nothing to do anymore. And you break even immediately because this market is struggling. So I break even, and then I break even on this one here. And this is one thing what we have done with the auto trade. If the floor and fibs came in where you have put the stop loss, it's gonna move it for you automatically. And if you don't want to close position, you go ahead and secure your profit, little bit of the profit, plus one take, two takes. And if the market decide to go down, then you are done for today. And if the market decided to knock you out of that trade, or you were not fast enough to close in all your position, then you will wait on the next round, and you will go ahead and pick up the next round. And then once you pick up the first or the one signal, you're done. So we don't need to sit down and bang on this market all day long. But once you pick up a signal, we can use an ES1 contract, Russell 1 contract, YM1 contract if you want to, or a micro account, and a CL. And as we speak to our members, we have modified that system, and now it's in the oven cooked. So probably within a week time, we have a newer version and a newer looks on the on that system here. And what we have done, with the software, you cannot just keep the software as is and not do anything to it. It's not about building a software. Or trying to find a proper algo, but also to maintain it and keeping it also up to date. So maybe within a week we have a new release and a new looks as actually on the e-signal, but I don't want to talk about it right now. And it's going to be much more advanced with the trading, and we have done a major upgrade on the algo system here, on the algorithm, and we also we have opened the doors for the traders to do a lot of stuff with it. So and if you want to use it as a full automated, you can use it. It's already have 4 automated trade, different kind of automated ATM strategy and a pullback re-entry, but we are open the doors on a bigger variety on this new update, and it's gonna have a new fresh looks as well. So I look forward to share this information with our members. As we see the ES, we are done with the ES. We're gonna put it on the side, and always on the scalper you have a trade. Always on the scalper, if you want to be aggressive, you have a trade. So there is no big deal in there. And on this fully automated trade, we are done with this one. We are done with that one. And this is the TI7. It's on that. It's the same one. I'm using the automatic trailing stop on it. You can use it automatic trailing stop, or you can use your trailing stop if you want, but I'm using an automatic trailing stop on this one here, and this means it's gonna stay on the trade as long as the market is to the long position. It's gonna stay on that trade, and when the market changes direction, it's gonna shut down those trades and start looking for a short. So if this market is trending and the auto trade taking a trade, is gonna stay on that trade until the market changing direction, as we see here with from the bars. Those bars are based on not an ATRs. No. It is based on the price lines, on the price fibs. So those are totally different. And what it does, it measure between red and blue. When you get to yellow, when there is neutral, it is really calculating the trends very well. So as we see right now, we have and here is what we have given an option to the trader. You have a $2,000 on that trade, and if you are happy with it and you're not going back to trade after 5 minutes, you have a button on the top here. What we can do, you can close position immediately, whether you are, doesn't matter which broker you are using. The minute you push that button, a close position. It's a close position market order. So it's not a limited order, a close position market order. So this is here is the difference between one guy and another guy. Let's say if we are looking at the NASDAQ, and he can, as you see here on the NASDAQ, I can see now that my NASDAQ is sinking to the 94.47, as I told you 10 minutes ago. This is a re-entry point. So what I'm trying to say, I know it's coming back here to, so here where it is. Even if there are 2 traders are using the same template and the same auto trade, one guy is gonna close this trade on 20. It was over 2,000. He can close it over 2,000, and another guy could not read the market, and probably he's gonna walk away with 1,000. And they are both taking the same trade, and they are both taking the the same entry, but each one of them exit. So the performance is no longer about the auto trade. The performance is about the trader is managing that auto trade. So if we have two members, one member refused to look at the market, he's gonna look at the auto trade and expecting the auto trade do everything. He's gonna walk away with one kind of money, and the guy is looking at the charts. He's gonna walk away double as much as this guy. So you cannot say if this auto trade today made 2,000, that means you will be making 2,000. No, if this auto trade made 2,000, there is another trader made 1,000. You know, so the performance depends on how you are looking at the market. And one more time, also, the performance, if you are having two auto trade, two different people using this auto trade, Tom and Jim, Mike or 007, come in in the morning, turn on NinjaTrader. One guy, he can see there is a problem in the market. He's going to wait 10 minutes to get out of this bad channel. And the other guy is going to go ahead and right away click on an auto trade and start trading. So they're not going to have the same trades, and they're not going to have the same performance because one guy has started 10 minutes before or 10 minutes later. So you cannot just pinpoint if Mike made 1,500 today, that means you are going to make 1,500. It could be you're not going to walk away with anything because could be Mike or Tom, he find the danger, he cash in, left, and you stayed trading, and then you made 1,000, and then you lost it all in the afternoon. So you cannot, what Tom performed last night, you're going to have the same performance. You cannot, because you are the driver behind the tools. Not me, not Tom, not Mike, not 007. It's you driving this auto trade. So the performance is up to you, how much you know about the market. It's not the auto trade magic. The auto trade is mechanical, automated trade. But there is no crystal ball in there, or there is no magic in it. It is math. And you have to know how to manage the math and the trading. So as we see right now, we took a second trade, we closed the second trade, and now we still have two more trades. As we see on the last entry on the auto trade, it did on the last entry, this one here made 1,530, and the previous one made 705. You can see it in the box here. I don't know if you can see that. So right now we are about to finish with it. The daily target on this 1,530. So what should I do here? Let me look at the market. I don't want it to look at just the NASDAQ. I want to also look at the ES to see what is this ES at. As we see, the ES is having a problem with a double resistance, and most likely is going to have a problem on that. And here on the NASDAQ, we are having a pullback re-entry. If we break that line here, this projection line at 94.63, that means we are going to 94.53. And I don't know if you can see on that channel, on the YouTube channel, if we look at the chart, you can see it says a signal, because this is another system. We do not rely, it's like the airplanes on the old days, not now. Like if you take some of you probably been around airplanes. If you take a DC-8, an old airplane, or a 727, you have a hydraulic A, hydraulic B, hydraulic C, hydraulic D. And here, you don't have just hydraulic A. You have hydraulic A, B, and C, and D. So we have this cell signal here. It is a total different calculation on the cell signal. If we look on the top of that chart, we did not adjust because it is like a pilot instruments here. If we look at the top of that chart, it's telling you the high time frame is up. The high time frame is up. What is a high time frame? It's the 30 minutes, 60 minutes. is calculated and is telling you the higher time frame is up, so you can keep your eye on the 1 minute chart. Why we need to keep our eye on the 1 minute chart? Because in 2020, you cannot trade NASDAQ based on one chart. You cannot trade NASDAQ on a Renko bar and make money. You cannot trade the Renko bar on an ES and call yourself a trader. You're going to fall. You're going to hit the wall. You're going to lose your account. And that is guaranteed. I've been around for 28 years and will not accept any challenge on those matters. The only thing you can read the trend is when you are using 1 minute, and that is the end of the line. For the professional traders, 1 minute chart is not enough. They have to look on the NASDAQ 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, and 15 minutes in order for them to take a trade. So what we have done on that is thank heaven for this poor guy coming in, call himself a trader, never made money in the last 5-10 years. He have a couple $1,000 in his pocket, and he want to take the whole U.S. stock market in his pocket. And how you going to tell him to open 4 or 5 different charts? He's going to pass out on me, and probably he needs a pill to revive him again. So you cannot tell a guy come in out of a box, and he's been trading for a couple of years, to go ahead open a chart for NASDAQ 1 minute and 3 minutes and 5 minutes and 30 minutes and 15 minutes, so in order for you to trade the NASDAQ. He'll pass out on me. What we see, this is where we said we re-entry point. So what we have done instead, to make it a little bit more civilized to the guy coming out of a box in you, we put a signal for him. Telling him the high time frame is on the way up. So it is recalculating all those information in his head on one chart, on one panel, to understand where is the daily targets and what is the high time frame is doing, what is the bulls and the bears, and then what we have done, he can monitor the sellers over the buyers or the buyers over the sellers. By looking at those, what we have done, how to monitor the buyers over the sellers, and we have also put in there on those 2 instruments, we have put 6 different high time frame on it. So when the guy is reading that, or he is auto trading, he got very full panel knowing what's going on in the market, and he is the pilot, has to land at night without looking at the window where is the airport. So what I'm trying to say here, if we look here on the high time frame, the market, it is where is the sellers over the buyers, or there is equal between the buyers and the sellers. I see the bulls 38, the bears are 64, and then what we have done, we took all those garbage, the MACD, ATR, all those basic indicators that have been around since 1980s, and they've been tweaked. Those 10 basic indicators, they've been tweaked and retweaked for the last 20 years. What we have done, we put all those garbage in one, and we made one signal telling you the ATR, the MACD, your volatility indicator, your range indicator, all of them pointing down. So he don't need to look at the MAC, he don't need to look at an ATR, he don't need to look at momentum. That signal here is based on 10 different indicators. We combine those 10 different indicators and put them in one. And that's all what it takes, millisecond, for the trader to look at his chart, saying the high time frame is up, targets are up. Those are for the institutional numbers. As you see, the institutional numbers, they are up here. And then he can see the bulls, the bears, the buyers over the sellers over the buyers, and then all those 10 basic indicator. He can look at them at the signal, and then using his auto trade to take that trade without taking any motion. And the only thing he has to do, manage and have a secure flight from A to B. If he cannot do that, we have provided everything for that trader to sit in a Rolls-Royce cockpit. And if this a trader gonna fail, call it off, throw the towel, cash in your money, go to Las Vegas, put your money, you either come back a broke home or you come back rich. Because if a trader cannot read all this, trading is not for him. Well, I had a bad luck. Well, you cannot have bad luck for 10 years, for God's sake, you know. So there is something wrong in here if you have been around for 10 years and everybody mistreated you and you didn't have a good luck. I don't believe in that. There is when a trader is willing to trade, you know, guys, that chart, all what I need to trade, that chart here, give me fib line, an entry, and I can make a decision. This is here what you need. You don't need 20,000 indicators to trade the market. All what I need to know, if I'm taking a trade, where is my destination? This is a very genuine chart, and I can trade it. No big deal. And when you learn that, you can trade anything. And the difference between this one here, the bars are colored. For me personally, if I'm alone, you will, as you see here, you don't see bar colors. This is Ninja Trader bar colors, because I don't care about the bar colors, and the bar colors confuses me. So all what I need to see, the bar as they are, I need to know where is the fib line, and then I'm done. This is the chart. If you are looking to change a career, that chart. If you have a hobby and you want to use an auto trade, use that auto trade. If you don't want to learn. If you want to change career, not with this. You cannot change career with this one. I don't care where you get it from. I don't care where you purchase it from, whether from me or somebody else. You are at the mercy of this market. If this market moving, you're going to make it tons of money. If the market not moving, you're going to lose money. Welcome to trading, you know. So on that one here, if you learn it and take your time, you cannot learn it in one day. You cannot learn it in 1 week. You need to learn the bars movement. Once you know how to trade that one here, you become a trader. And honestly, once you start learning this one here, we have some traders on the updates. They got this auto trade and they like it, but they told me, Sam, I'm comfortable with this one here. Why? Because he can make a profit here. He knows his profit here. He knows where is his limitation. They said, some of those guys, they say, thank you, it's a nice auto trade here, and it's a very stable auto trade, but I still prefer to stay in here. And then you have the other guys, they just want to stay there, and that's their right, you know. They own the software. It's their right whether they want to use this one or that one. I cannot force them to do anything. But those guys, the ones are serious about getting somewhere in the trading, they are using that chart. So what we have done, we have given the traders two options, and then it's up to them what they want to do with it. If they want to learn, we provide a very good training, and if they don't want to learn, they can stay on that auto trade, and whatever the outcome from that auto trade, they have to accept. You know, they have to accept. They have to learn when to start it, when to stop, and they have to accept the outcome. On this one here, you are in control how much you're gonna be making today. You are the one in control. On that auto trade, you are at the mercy of the market movement. That's it. Nothing we can do. So as we see on those here, and if we look at the CL, if the market is trending, the auto trade is by itself extending the target more and more. So this one here, the auto trade is doing everything for us, but we need to look at it to see where is the support, where is the resistance, and where is that trade having a problem with, and then I can take the trade, call it off, or exit. So as you see how this market had jumped on the CL, and if the CL want to trend, the auto trade is gonna raise the target automatically. And if the market is not going to the target goes down to the market order. No one can do that. We're the only company that did this. No company has done that. As we see right now, we're like on Monday, it's the same auto trade on the NASDAQ, and it is the same auto trade on the NASDAQ. If you go back on the video on Monday, we are using the same chart, and as you see, it is the same amount of money on Monday. It is the same amount of money today. If you go back on Monday video, we made on the gray one, 1 minute, 1,410 exactly. If you go back on the video from Monday, we made on the NASDAQ 2 minutes, 3,410 exactly as what we have made today. Is it done? Yes, it is done, and it is over. There is nothing to trade. So on Monday, that NASDAQ made 3,410. Yesterday I was not live. I don't want to talk about it, but it made the same thing. And today we are live on a YouTube, made 3,400. Forget yesterday. Nobody see anything yesterday. So on Monday on a YouTube, we made 3,410 on the NASDAQ 2 minutes. And today we made 3,410. That is around 3.5 and a 3.5. This is around $7,000 in 2 days trade on the NASDAQ. How much you invested on the NASDAQ? How much did you get out of this NASDAQ? You know, so it is a serious money when you know what you are doing. And if it's not, you are one disaster trader. You know, now as we see here on the CL, we are about to hit the target, and there is 520. And this one here, the ES, is telling you, hey, buddy, I have a problem at 30.46.75. You want to leave the table or you want to stay? I don't know. You know, I get nervous. Why you want to get nervous? If you get nervous in here, because we hear people, they don't have time. You don't have time to make money. Okay. So why you want to trade if you don't have time to make money? Why you want to learn the market if you don't have time? You're running a hotel, you're driving a truck. I mean, how you want to make money if you don't want to learn? On the Russell, 300 bucks. Is this enough? Close it and go home. As we see on the ES, this is a chart I can trade all day long for the next 10 years. If we look at the ES, I don't need a brainer to see we have a problem on that level here, and the ES has tried to break that level the first time, it didn't work, and now it's trying to break that level at 30.46.50. It's trying one more time. Now, if not able to break that number, it's going to sink. So, finally, now if you notice, look at this. I don't care about the number. Could be $40, could be minus $40, could be $1,000. Doesn't matter about the numbers. If we look at this ES movement, the ES came in at 30.46.75 the first time, didn't work. The second time, didn't work. The third time, didn't work. The fifth time, he tried to break it. So this is where a trader should immediately spot that ES having a problem. Should I take my money off the table, or should I go ahead and risk it? If you don't want to risk it, then what we do, we can at least say, you know what, let me secure some of this profit. In case if this ES dropped, at least I'm walking away with a little money better than nothing. This is the same story here on the CL. The system estimated to exit the CL at 60, there is no more 60 on the CL, 32.94. What happened? The market came in one tick below the target and couldn't hit the target. Okay, and now the market's sinking again, but at least the trailing stops have moved my break even to the fib line. So two trades are separated based on the first trailing stop. It is a minor floating fibs, and the second one is a major floating fibs. So whereas my trailing stops are it is where the CL most likely is gonna be at the support area. This white chart. This is what you call a career trader. You know, not this one here. Not this one here. Even if this one today made money, not this one here. Here, for a guy want to have a hobby, that's fine. You know, I accept that. He's bored, you know. He don't get to go out a lot, so that's good. But for a guy who want to change a job from truck driver or some other jobs, you know, he has. This is not your bread. This is your bread right here. The white chart. We need to find out when this market is struggling and when the market is not. And now we are going through the summer. And in the summer, we're going to have a low volume. It's not going to be any more swing trading. Around the Christmas, around the summertime, when the kids are out of school, all kind of auto trades like this, worldwide, they start going down with the performance to 50%, including my auto trade. Why? Because in the summer there is no volume, everybody is on a holiday, and there is no movement in the market. Not unless if something happened, bad news, good news, and the market can ignite the market once in a while. But when everyone is on a holiday, summer break from the school, winter break from the school, around the Christmas, Thanksgiving, low volume in the market, those kind of auto trade, whether it's my auto trade or somebody else auto trade, they're gonna start go down 50% on their performance. On that kind of auto trade, whether it's summer, winter, snow, sunny, whatever, you can always pick up your ticks and go home. Whether it's a summer, whether it's a Christmas, whether because you know what you are doing on a low volume, or whether it takes, grab one signal, $200 here, $200 there, $200 here, and then you earn your bread and you leave. You know, you're not gonna make thousands of dollars in the summer, but you still can earn your bread, $500, $600, $700 on a good day, $1,000. It could be on another day, $200. But you know you can generate ticks in the profit, and this is what is the most important. So right now, what we have. 170 on the CL, 500 and 840 on the Russell. So we catch a trend on the Russell. That's it. Taking 5 minutes break and we'll continue. Thank you. Okay, guys, what I'm gonna do, I will have you can follow the signal by yourself. I'm gonna put this. You can follow the ES Nasdaq Dow Jones when there is a new signal. You can see where it says a new column, and you can find or follow the signal when there is a new signal come in. But please try to be on a sim because we are not responsible for your trade. Let's look at the ES 5 minutes, what it's doing. Conservative. We are also climbing on the ES auto trade. And we practically done on the ES Nasdaq Dow Jones. We have done everything on it. So, but we will see what the ES, if it's gonna, the ES gonna have a problem at 30, 50, 75. Here is the automated trade. This one here is going south. We're gonna break even and let it go. And the problem on the ES is 30, 50, 75. We have a double resistance, and we have a target at 30, 50, 175. Here is the trader what needs to do to our people. Once the market come into the 30, 50, 75, you have to make a decision if you want to close that trade, or if you want to push your luck. Most likely that auto trade is going to extend the target to the next fib level, which is going to be 30, 52, 75. So it is up to you. You need to evaluate what's going on. As you see on the Russell now, this line here, 1439.5, it has come in the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, and waiting on Mr. ES to go up so can really react. And as we see here, the Russell trade, I mean, I cannot follow every single trade on the chart when I'm here on the YouTube. It's impossible. I have people talking to me on the Skype. I have a million chart to look at. I have to teach. I'm distracted. But for a guy sitting by himself as an individual trader, he have more time to concentrate on his fourth chart. He don't have tons of people talking to him and chat with him and teaching at the same time and trying to observe what's going on in the market on a scalping, swing trading, automated trading. So he have much more luxury to have a clean head and see each chart. He only have to deal with 4 or 5 charts and see when the chart, as you see here, this Russell is struggling, is on the same line, and it is a struggling market. So he have $800 on a trade. He needs to make a decision immediately if he needs to exit those trades and secure a profit. So I don't have that luxury. You do have that luxury. Okay, so at the moment, a little bit mixed in the market, and nothing we can do. And if this ES, the ES pulled back to the first minor trailing stop, and now, as we said, look at this. You see how the target is trying to go up to the next level, 30, 52, 75, and now the ES is hanging in the middle. If this ES trying to go up, we need to watch out when the ES get to the 30, 50, 75, because this is a critical area, double support. Usually on a double support or a double resistant, like now double resistant, you're gonna have some problems. And now, as you see with your own eye, look at this, how the market works. It's amazing. Huh? When the ES tried to start to climb into the 30, 50, 75, your Russell broke that level. And the same thing apply on the NASDAQ, on any other instruments. Follow the ES. The minute the ES trying to go up, the Russell immediately react to it. And if the ES going down, the Russell is going to go down immediately with it. Jesus, look at this CL. It's done. Okay, so you can see how those two working together. And if the ES trying to go to the 3057, immediately you close position on the Russell. If the market go back on the ES, that's mean to close that. So it is very, very critical. And always look at the number. If you are happy with it, you want to close position, you say, okay, I don't want it to go back to trade after 5 minutes. I'm done for today. This market is not good today. I'm stopping early today. If this market trending, I will stay 8 hours. There's no problem when there is money to be made. But when the market is struggling, I'm out. I don't care what happened in the afternoon. This is the way you need to look at it in order for you to stay consistent trader, not just at the mercy of an auto trade. This kind of auto trade. This one here, you are at the mercy of the market movement. Some of them do bad in a volatility. Some of them do good. Some of them are very good when the market is flat. And some of them are a disaster that can wipe up your account. So also there is a different level in the development on an auto trade. Those kind of auto trades is no longer ATRs or a MACDs or momentum is going to pull the trick. Actually, right now, we have two full-time programmers. I got one programmer on the signal to do the upgrade. He's doing major overhaul, and he's been working on it for a couple of 3 weeks, non-stop, every day, 8 hours. And then the other one now, we are studying how on that auto trade on the TI7, how for this new trader, we want this auto trade. I'm not going to reveal it here in the public for my competitors to find a trick. I will not. But we trying to. We have found something we can do when the market is not trending and not based on a volume. Not based on a volume. A volume by itself is not good. We find some kind of a trick we can do. We are going to build this next week, that when the market is not trending and we have this guy is coming out of a box, he don't know when the market is trending or not, we're gonna cut down the trade, and then the auto trade is not gonna be taking any trade. When the market start trending, the auto trade open up again. So this is a very big challenge we are doing on the TI7, and I think it's gonna be success. So we were drawing everything right now on the paper, and we're gonna implement those probably within a week or so, and start doing some tests. And we wanted to do the test not when the market open at 9:30. We want to do the test when the market is sideways. And because we need an auto trade always can survive any kind of weather, whether the market is trending, snowing, or sunny, or the kids are out of school, there is no volume in the market around the summer or Christmas. When you are handing over that auto trade to an amateur trader, he's not going to rack it. So what I will do today, I will leave you for the next few minutes. You're very welcome to follow. As you see here on the scalper, now you've got a lot of a new signal fired up, and you're very welcome to follow any of those signals as long as you are on a sim. We're not responsible for your trade. I will be quiet for the next 10 minutes, and we wish you the best. Thank you.